Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to get started here in about 30 seconds. We'll give it another half a minute for people to jump on. This was a bit of I didn't give anybody a heads up, so it was a bit of a surprise, so we'll just give it another 30 seconds or so. All right, let's get started with the private member live stream before market close. Today's Thursday, August 3rd. And just as a reminder, I haven't been doing the before market close videos because I've been on vacation and I've had family visiting, my parents visiting Edmonton, and then I'm going to be going to PEI as well at the end of August. So I'll probably be resuming this. I usually do it Monday through Friday, but with everything in the summertime, when we're doing it Monday and Wednesdays and Fridays before market close, usually go live around 4 o'clock. 4:30, no, it's around 3 or 3:30 Eastern time. So that's usually when I would go live before market close. And like I said, I look to resume that in September. But occasionally I'll come on whenever I have time. And then, like I said, if something big happens, then obviously I'll come on and we'll take a look. But it has been a while since I did an update for private members, so I wanted to come on. If anybody does have any ticker requests, please let me know inside of Slack and the exchange. That'd be great. But we'll take a look at the crypto space here at the moment. There is some news from Bitstamp that could be coming out. They said they released a teaser that it had to do with XRP and the XRP ledger. So we could see some news with regards to that. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But apparently they've been teasing the community and it's something that is worth the wait. So we'll see what happens there. But at the moment, crypto is basically going sideways. No real change. You can see here we're basically just stuck within this range. We tried to break out of it and then we're back within that same range again. So we've basically just been going sideways at the moment, and that's indicative by this daily inside bar. So when we have a daily inside bar, it just means we're within yesterday's range. So there's no clear direction. We started the daily bounce 2 days ago, and then we had another daily bounce yesterday, and now we're just an inside bar looking for direction. So we'll see if we lose support at 28,930, we'll start daily consolidation, and then if we break resistance there at 30,033, then we'll continue the daily bounce for the third day in a row. But if we take a look at the weekly time frame here, we're still holding the EMA 12, and ultimately we haven't closed a weekly candle below EMA 26, that white line. So if we were to see a weekly candle close below EMA 26 at 27,380, I think we could be heading back down to around that 22,000, maybe as low as a back test of 20,000. But at the moment we are holding those EMAs, so that'll be the line in the sand. Watch for a weekly candle close over EMA 26. And we're still in a very strong uptrend with a low, high, higher low, and higher high. We lost it here briefly. We had the higher low and then higher high, and then we came back down and we lost it. But then we had a high, higher low, and higher high. So at the moment, weekly uptrend looks fine, but it's mostly about the monthly chart that I'm concerned about, because we're playing catch up to the broader market, and that's usually how it happens. Bitcoin's usually a lagging indicator, and especially like the Dow Jones and all that good stuff. But you can see here we have the low, high, higher low, and higher high. We have another higher low and a higher high, because we basically did break above that by about $400. And we could still see these EMAs cross bullish when the shorter term's below the longer term. And in this case, it's the monthly time frame. Look what happens when the shorter term is below the longer term, they cross, we go down. That's a bear cross. Then a bull cross, when the shorter term's below the longer term and they cross, that's a bull cross. And look at the upside that ensued. Then we had the the bear cross, came back down, saw another run and rally, and then we had the bear cross, and now we're gearing up for another potential bull cross. So it's looking like we could still see even more upside here with those EMAs even yet to cross. So it's looking pretty good here. And then I think the chances of an ETF getting approved, spot Bitcoin ETF, into the fall. There's even speculation that we could get, BlackRock, Fidelity, Valkyrie. There's talks about that we could even get multiple accepted at the same time. So I'm expecting a really massive rally into the end of the year here. And if that happens, Bitcoin's going to go parabolic. I think we could easily go back to around 70, 80,000, maybe even test 100K. And then on Bitcoin's pullback, that's when we should start to see money rotate out of Bitcoin into the altcoins, and a true alt season will likely follow. XDC has some massive gains. It was down at 2 cents back in December of 22. So at the beginning of this year, it was around 2 cents, and it is now up about 330%. So congrats to those who bought the dip on XDC. Personally, I don't own any XDC at the moment, but it's not to say that it's not a good project. It's just I'm more focused on XRP and XLM and a few other protocols. But XDC, I think, has a good chance of being a long-term success winner. GMX and Cell Token. On the decline, we have Code, HP, NDA. So we've got a little bit of a mixed bag out there today. And then we'll take a look at XRP here real quick. So XRP on the weekly time frame, we are starting weekly consolidation, but it's still healthy at this point. We're just looking for a weekly higher low compared to the low here at 44.7 cents USD. On the daily time frame, though, we did confirm a daily downtrend with a lower high and lower low. And when you confirm a daily downtrend or like an hourly downtrend, that means zoom out to the daily. If it's an hourly downtrend confirming, zoom out to the daily and watch for daily consolidation. Daily consolidation just means we're losing the low of the previous daily candle. If we confirm a daily downtrend, that means zoom out to the next higher level time frame, the weekly, and watch for weekly consolidation. So that's exactly what's going on for the second week in a row. We're seeing weekly consolidation losing the low of the previous week, which just means we're pulling back, we're consolidating. But there's healthy consolidation and non-healthy consolidation. Right now, everything's just healthy. Just cooling off the jets. We were weekly overbought, daily overbought, so just cooling off the jets to prepare for the next leg up, in my opinion. The S&P 500, so we had that cup and handle. We had a weekly bull flag. Weekly bull flag was targeting 438. We hit that target. Then we had the cup and handle and found perfect support right at resistance. So old resistance became new support, technical analysis 101. And then we came back down, formed it as support, and then we saw the cup and handle follow through, and we were targeting 455. That's what we hit. We got a bit extended, and look, we pulled back pretty hard above that resistance, and then came back down and started daily consolidation in a big way, and lost the daily uptrend. So that means zoom out to the weekly, and if you lose the daily uptrend or confirm a daily downtrend, what does that mean? It means zoom out to the weekly and look for weekly consolidation. That's exactly what's happened. We lost the low of the previous week, meaning we're starting the pullback and weekly consolidation, and we're looking for a higher low here compared to 431. So realistically, we're still in a weekly uptrend. This is absolutely healthy. We could still pull back 3.5%-ish and still be looking for a weekly higher low. And we have the EMAs there to support as well. And then we were weekly overbought on the RSI as well. So we knew we were due for a pullback at some point soon, especially after hitting that weekly bull flag target. You just take the measured move from the low to the high, move it out there to the 0.32 fib, and that's exactly the target we had, plus the cup and handle target. We were definitely due for a cool off at that point. And then RSI was extremely overbought as well, and it was just an inevitability to expect it to pull back. In terms of the monthly time frame, again, in terms of the everything bubble compared to the dot-com bubble, we had the price peak in 2000, RSI peaked in 1996, then it went to monthly oversold. Price peaked in 2018, in 2022, RSI peaked in 2018. So 4 years later, went to monthly oversold. 4 years later, went to monthly oversold. Or the price peaked and then monthly oversold is what I meant to say. And then from the time we went from price peaking to the bottom there is about, so you can see here, 944 days from that high to the low. So if we go from the price peaking to where the bottom could be, 944 days would bring us out to around summertime of next year. So I was looking at around April, but it's looking like it could be past that. It's like sell in May and go away potentially in 2024 is when we're really going to start to see selling pressure pick up, in my opinion. But because we didn't have the Fed printing trillions of dollars back in the day, I took this .com fractal and it lines up with around the low 200s as a potential monthly oversold. And we have this hidden RSI bearish divergence. We have lower highs, lower lows, heading towards oversold, where the price is trending higher highs and higher lows. But again, the reason why I expected us to deviate from this fractal is because Congress still yet to be banned from owning stocks. And as we know, there's bills going around right now to do exactly that, just ban them from owning stocks. So that's why I expected us to deviate, because the market is full of crooks and they don't want to. The Feds ban themselves, the Federal Reserve staff ban themselves here. They didn't ban themselves here. They didn't ban themselves here. They didn't ban themselves here. They waited for all-time highs and record all-time highs at that, and hitting 4.618 extensions. And then sure enough, where do you think Congress is going to want to ban? Well, the Fed banned themselves. Why don't we create a rally to make ourselves ban ourselves right at the top or new all-time highs? You know, why should the Fed get to sell the top? We're Congress. We make the laws, right? So it's just, yeah. Once you learn this stuff enough, you know, we had that monthly inverse head and shoulders as well. So once you just learn how the markets work, nothing surprises you anymore. But you can't beat them, join them. And we do have a massive cup and handle here forming on this monthly time frame. Imagine if we confirmed a monthly, this is just a rough estimate, that would bring us up to like 620s. Doubt we're going to get there. Maybe we hit 500 and then pull back on SPY in a big way and potentially head to monthly oversold, but that's what we'll be looking for. The dollar, so the dollar is showing some nice strength here in the daily time frame. We were daily oversold, heading towards daily overbought. We had the low, high, higher low, and higher high, EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but it's looking like it could be potentially coming to an end here with it topping out at EMA 26. We could still see a bull cross of these EMAs, so but we still haven't confirmed a weekly uptrend on the DXY. We have the low, high, we need the higher low and higher high. So at this point, we're still in a weekly downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. But zooming out to the monthly, it's all about the monthly time frame on the DXY. We confirmed a monthly downtrend at bear flag, and now we just need to see that continued follow through. So like I said, if Bitcoin spot ETF gets approved, we also have earnings coming out today, some big earnings after the bell. We'll take a look at that here in a second. And then if we have positive reaction to that, if we see the Feds pause again or even start to lower rates, that could potentially spike it even more. But right now, I think spot Bitcoin ETF is our biggest catalyst leading into the end of the year. And we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on these DXY exponential moving averages. So it's all about DXY. If we lose 99.57, I expect selling pressure to really pick up in a hurry, and the target from the monthly bear flag brings us down to about 93 on the DXY, which would be super bullish for stocks and crypto. Taking a look at some individual tickers today, we have INSG, FERR, and NKLA leading the bull list. Man, look at NKLA's move here off the lows as well. Almost 600%. So $1,000 invested there would be about $6,000. In terms of the bear list today, we have Etsy, PayPal, and what's that? Bombardier leading the decline today. So we'll bring up some tickers here in a moment as well. I did want to bring up, just checking the news. Did want to bring up, so today, Thursday, after market close, we have Amazon, Apple, Coinbase, Airbnb, Fortinet, DraftKings, Block. Yeah, we got a big day here. We got a big after hours session. So this is going to be very telling to see which way we open tomorrow. I don't have any guesses as towards a direction. We'll just have to take it as it comes. But NKLA as well tomorrow before open, Fubo, Enbridge, nothing major, but yeah, we got massive earnings here. Amazon, Apple, Coinbase, Block, Airbnb, DraftKings, Fortinet. Not too worried about them, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting after-hours session, and then leading into tomorrow. Let's just take a look at Apple and Amazon though. So we are due for monthly consolidation on Apple. Like, we haven't consolidated on the monthly time frame. Look, it's every single candle monthly. It's a higher low every single monthly candle. So if we lose 186, we're probably going back to 170, 155. And backtest those EMAs. And we are coming off, and look at this hidden bearish RSI divergence, lower highs and lower lows, higher lows and higher highs. Look what happened when Tesla did that. Higher lows and higher highs, lower lows, and then we had a massive crash in a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. Apple, higher lows and higher highs, lower lows, and we haven't seen that monthly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross yet. So Apple's definitely due for some pullback in my opinion. So if I had to lean anyway, it would be bearish. Amazon actually had its monthly higher low, high, higher low, and higher high. So it's in a monthly uptrend, right? So we consolidated recently, not that recently, but likely due for some consolidation. It's a monthly inside bar. So if we lose 125.92, we lose the low of the previous month, meaning monthly consolidation underway. But we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross here on the monthly EMAs. And we're near all-time high. So I'm more bullish on Amazon earnings just based on the chart leading into after hours here. In about 25 minutes, we should have the numbers. And then Apple a little bit more bearish based on the chart, just really screaming it needs to cool down. Coinbase, that's anybody's guess is as good as any. What they're going to do. Where's Coin? There it is. But yeah, low, high, higher low, and higher high. So we're in a monthly uptrend, and we just consolidated on the monthly time frame just a couple months ago. So again, I'm a little bit more bullish on Coinbase earnings as well. And then, yeah, Airbnb, low, high, higher, low, and monthly uptrend looking real good. What was the other one? Block. So, SQ. And, yeah, we had a Powbot buy. I'll go off on this one. So, yeah, I think we could see some favorable outcome to SQ as well. But I'm not liking the look of Apple's chart leading into earnings. Canadian MJ. So rumors floating around that Tilray could be the front runner to buy Cron, and that would explain some of the relative strength in Cron lately, because usually the acquiree goes up and the acquirer goes down. And if Tilray bought Cron, that'd be huge. And it all depends on the premium, right? Usually the default is around 20% premium in the industry, but because we're in a bear market, it might be less than that. But we'll want to see the official deal details. But WIB, Lab, CGC leading the bull list today. CGC was up about 10% there at one point. XTRX huge, and PCLO leading the decline today. We'll jump into some tickers here in just a moment. USMJ, we've got Ian, BMMJ, and RWB leading the bull list, and on the bear list we have Halo, BAM, and FLGC. Take a quick peek at MSOS. So MSOS still holding that $5 mark, looking like it's strong support. So again, if you're looking for a swing trade, if you're looking for a long-term entry, or if you're looking for, you know, just a little bit lower risk, you could enter this thing with a stop at, you know, 474, 444, whatever you want to do, however much wiggle room you want to allow for a stop loss. Or you could just potentially buy it and hold it, right? But in my opinion, $5 is a nice support. For the last 6 months, we've basically been holding $5. So a nice floor being set there at around 5. But nothing real to see here other than daily consolidation. We do have a potential for a daily uptrend to confirm. So if we hold the low here at 508, form this daily higher low, and then break resistance here at 562 will be in a daily uptrend. If you confirm a daily uptrend, that means zoom out to the weekly and look for the weekly bounce to get underway. And that's exactly what's happening, right? So we're very close to seeing an even more higher weekly bounce, and likely going to continue for the next week. But again, broader market will likely depend on that. So we'll see how that factors in. If we see weakness in the broader market, that's just going to be headwinds for us in the MJ sector. So you want to take a look at CGC, raise it? No problem, we can do that. On the NASDAQ, so right now, at the moment, could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. But this move all coming off the low. We did have the low, high, higher low, and higher high. So we're just looking for a higher low here compared to 37 cents. So daily uptrend still intact. Weekly time frame, we're starting the weekly bounce for the second week in a row. And then we'll want to get into a weekly uptrend with a higher low and higher high, which we still haven't even formed the higher low yet. So we're still a while away before we confirm a monthly uptrend or weekly uptrend. Then we need to start the monthly bounce, and that's all-time high record volume for. So that could be this could be our bottom. Look at that volume climax. Nowhere near the amount of shares traded previously. Like it's like triple, or like I guess double, basically what this was 408 million shares, and then over 1 billion shares. So yeah, over double the previous high in record volume. But we still need to start the monthly bounce. If we break above 67 cents, we'll start the monthly bounce by breaking the high of last month, and we could easily be heading back to EMA 12, which would be, even if you just entered on a break of that monthly resistance, that'd be about 222% of upside. But then we still need to top out on the monthly, form a monthly higher low and higher high. So we're at least 3-4 months away still from confirming monthly uptrends and being confident. We need monthly uptrends across the sector to be confident. And then CGC on some of our weekly time frames here, we're still topping out at that 10-week moving average, but we're starting to see the stochastic and the MACD cross bullish. So this is looking good. If we can see a weekly candle close this week over 52 cents, we basically got all systems go. And like I said, if we get over $1 on CGC, this could be the bottom. This could be like the lowest we see CGC ever, or this could be our long-term temporary bottom for sure. There's no guarantee that it's going to stand the test of time, but I think they'll swim. I don't think they're going to sink long term. I think they'll swim, and you know, I just think they have too many brands, too many assets that they'll be able to right the ship, right? In terms of we have nothing nearby until the weekly moving average there at 210. So tons of room once we do start to really pick up some steam if we start that monthly bounce. And then in terms of the daily time frame on CGC, we're still a ways away before seeing a golden cross. So definitely one of our weaker names, but it has some runway to really start to catch up here if we get any positive catalyst. If we get HHS reveal into the fall, which I think is our most likely scenario, we could even see safe banking pass as well, right? Imagine we got 2 of those catalysts at the same time in a spot Bitcoin ETF, and you know, the Dow Jones and everything else, S&P at all-time highs. Like this could get really, really spicy into the end of the year here. It's all going to depend on those catalysts, but I think HHS and the reveal of how they classify it, whether they put it to Schedule 3, deschedule it all completely, that is going to be our biggest catalyst, and then safe banking will be the second biggest, and then we could get potential legalization of medical in the US, and yeah, tons of catalysts coming. So I think the best chance though is with HHS and the reveal and getting it rescheduled or descheduled. AAPL. So I did look at AAPL already, but we can take another look at it. But again, yeah, Apple likely due for some monthly consolidation. A key support is going to be where is it here? 186.60. If we lose that, we start monthly consolidation, and we could easily pull back to 170, in my opinion. So that's the crucial support to be watching. And like I said, just based on the amount of technical bearishness breakdowns here, losing the daily uptrend in terms of the weekly time frame, really due for some weekly consolidation. We have support there at 186.60 as well, and then EMA 12 there at 185. So if we lose 185 and that EMA 12, 186, so yeah, 185 is going to be crucial. If we lose 185, we're probably heading back down to 175, maybe even lower. And if you take this move, if you take the fib from all the way down to the low to the high here, we've got support there at the 0.236 at 180, and then 0.32 at 170. So again, I think 170 will be strong support. We'll probably come down, form support there, and then bounce for a lower high, and then continue to trend down if that's what happens. And then we have the halfway retracement there at around 161. But it is starting to show some weakness here as well, with the stochastic and the MACD crossing bearish. That's not good. You don't want to see the black crossing. Look what happened when the black was below the red and it crossed. Massive upside. Same thing with the stochastic. Now we're seeing the flip side with bear cross and entering bearish territory and momentum. So I'm definitely not liking the look of Apple because of the fact that it's at all-time highs. And we're seeing a bear cross of the weekly moving averages with the shorter term above the longer term. That's not good. And then we're also gearing up for a death cross with the 50-day moving average. We had the golden cross with the 50-day below it, and then crossing bullish, and then we saw a massive upside. Now we're due to go back the other way with the shorter term below the longer term, and the 50-day and the 200-day instance. That's a death cross. Look what happened last time it death crossed. Right, we went from about 160 all the way down to 120s, and it didn't get hit. Apple didn't get hit that much compared to some of the other names in the tech space. So Apple's definitely due for some massive correction, in my opinion. I'd be very careful with Apple. MNMD, so Mind Medicine. On the NASDAQ, it's looking strong, looking real good here. We could see an EMA 12. Actually, we did see the weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, but it's a double top right now, 501, $5. So $5 psychological, very, very strong resistance. In terms of the monthly, we have the low, high, higher, low, and higher high. So we're in a monthly uptrend. So key support going forward is 282. If we lose 282, we lose the monthly uptrend. And I wouldn't want to be trying to catch that falling knife because, yeah, it's just like MJ. I would say even more risky because we just don't have the data. We just don't have the the blueprint. We don't really know what this industry is going to be like. But that being said, we have past $5. We have no price action resistance until $20. So yeah, you could potentially enter with a stop below that 282, but that's definitely a lot of risk right now. You're risking about 38%, so not the best risk reward. I would like to get it on that monthly higher low and then step my stop. So let's say you saw this higher low forming, we held it basically double bottom, then we had a hammer and then a reversal, and then on this reversal here, as soon as we broke $4, or as we were down here close to that support a couple months later at around $3, you could have entered at around 3, and there you would have only risked about 5%, whereas now you're risking a lot. So I would have tried to get it there if you're looking for a swing trade, but as of right now, maybe you want to wait for daily oversold to add it, maybe closer to $4 or a break of $4, but hard to say on this one. I mean, it's clinical trials and news and everything, right, is going to really dictate how this thing goes. But we're still bullish on the MACD and the stochastic, and we're well above the 10-week moving average. Let's take a look at the weekly moving average. So we did get the bear cross out of the way, and now we're getting above the 50, and we got some runway up to about $12, which is the 100 weekly. So not looking too bad at all, and it probably could follow MJ, right? MJ and the psychedelics usually follow each other, and this could be another clue leading into the fall that MJ could really run, and we could see psychedelics really start to run as well because they move hand in hand. And look, we have a golden cross. The 50-day moving average crossed the 200-day moving average, and we're above all of those moving averages. So yeah, this thing could easily be at $10-15 in a hurry into the fall here. It's looking really, really good. One of the most bullish looking charts at the moment. So we'll take a look at XRP and the Canadian dollar. Interested in your thoughts for an entry after the recent run-up. Yeah, I think anywhere around here is a great entry. Definitely sub $1 on XRP. Could we pull back to around the 78 cent mark, that EMA 12 and 26 around 70 cents? Absolutely. But yeah, I think XRP is really gearing up for an explosive move here into the fall, and it's the only digital asset with legal clarity in the US, right? Not even Bitcoin has that. Don't listen to what any maximalist will tell you. It doesn't matter what the SEC thinks. It doesn't matter what people think. There is no case law and there is no legislation saying that it's just opinions at this point. And we could get a new, Gary Gensler might not even be in the SEC if the Republicans win. He's a Democrat appointee and a bureaucrat. So if he gets removed, there's no even guarantee that the next administration or the next person that goes in there is going to have the same feelings towards it, right? So Bitcoin and Ethereum, they don't have the legal clarity, but we know that XRP is not a security in itself, and that is in case law right now. And that's probably going to be the lay of the land for at least 2 years. If the SEC were to appeal that decision and the judge's ruling, it would take multiple years for the appeal to play out. And by then, and Ripple even stated, Monica Long, the president, said that they're working with U.S. Players and companies now that the ruling has come out. And she said, and Bank of America is a big partner as well, which is very, very heavily backed by Warren Buffett. So I would say anywhere around these levels is a good time to start entering. But I said watch for daily oversold potentially as another entry. So similar to MindMed, maybe look for daily oversold. But if you're not happy with your exposure right now, I would just add on, like 10, 20% pullback. And if you look at the high there now, we're now down 30%. So definitely better than buying up here and definitely better than buying here. But could we fall lower with no daily support all the way down to around 60 cents? Yeah, absolutely we could. We could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross here. And like I said, I don't think Apple's going to have a good favor. I think Apple's going to be the wild card, and I'm not liking Apple's chart. And this could make trouble for the broader market in the crypto space as well, because if we see they have a terrible reaction to earnings here after hours, which I think is most likely based on the chart, I think that this could potentially hurt the broader market and equities in the crypto space, right? So yeah, I think anywhere around here on XRP is a steal. But yeah, we did hit hourly oversold after a massive move, so that was a nice entry there around 87 cents in my opinion. But the next one would be daily oversold or closer to daily oversold. I don't think we're going to get rate daily oversold, but yeah, we did have some strong resistance here as well around the 77 cents. So it's around 75 cents. Yeah, so 77, 75, 75 psychological. So I'd say we could even back test 75 cents. And if we zoom out to the weekly time frame here, that is lining up with the EMAs as well. So right around EMA 12. So yeah, I think, if not a financial advice, obviously this is for entertainment purposes only and what I think. But yeah, I think entering now, not a bad idea. And then scaling in, maybe buy another around 80 cents, another around 70 cents. If you haven't bought any XRP, I think that anytime around now is a good start to dollar cost average, and then just look to add around 80 cents, 70 cents every 10 cents or so from here. But it is looking pretty decent. I just did a video on it, and I said it's definitely the most bullish crypto out there. I haven't seen a better chart setup. So, but not to say that we don't have any short to medium term pain here. But I think into the fall we're going to see a massive, and then into the end of the winter and the beginning part of 2024. I think that's when alt season is going to really start to ramp up and to gain steam, and then potentially a couple of months into 2024 is where we'll set a potential high, similar to what happened in 2018 and 2017 after that massive alt season. But it could drag on even longer with XRP, because the greater the base, the higher in space, and the more the suppression, the greater the expansion. And Ripple could IPO in the US as well, which would be massive, right? That would be months of bullish news articles, right? So yeah, patience will be key, and just having targets set. So if you do enter XRP, make sure to have selling targets, right? So try not to make up your game plan on the fly, right? If you're entering at 90 cents Canadian, what are you going to sell at? Where's your first take profit level? You're going to sell at $3. You're going to sell it. You're going to wait for new all-time highs to sell any at all. That's my plan. I'm not selling a single XRP before all-time highs. And then I'll start to scale out, at $4, I'll take, maybe 5% off the table. If we hit $8, I'll take another 10, 20%. And then I'll probably be all out around, $13 to $16, right? And then I'll wait for a pullback. But yeah, that'll be life-changing wealth for me, right? and I'll be holding at least 5 to 10% of my XRP indefinitely, right? Imagine people who sold Bitcoin at $100 when they bought it at $1. Imagine people who bought Bitcoin at $100 and sold it at $1,000. It went from less than a penny, or it went from less than $1, right, to $70,000 US, right? So that's probably the best performing asset ever in such a short period of time. My guess, Apple earnings tonight to determine if we get a bigger dip on SPY the last 2 days or not. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I would say the chart isn't looking too hot, and that we're more than likely going to see a bearish reaction to earnings. Or maybe they have a decent report and then the guidance isn't that good or something like that. It's something I can see playing out as well. But just take a look at SPY actually with 9 minutes left in the day. Yeah, we're closing basically at the middle of today's range, but not looking good. We're still in a 5-minute downtrend, lower high and lower low. Hourly time frame, still in an hourly downtrend as well. Lost a daily uptrend and weekly consolidation underway. Yeah. Also, my girlfriend sold Meta, I think it was 2 days ago, and she sold it at 324, and look what it hit, 326, and then it pulled back 5%, and it looks like it's still not over yet. And again, Meta is one of those names, right, where we've bounced so much. Like, look at that. Look at that chart. From the low here, we're now up 270% in 9 months, 273 days. And look, we haven't formed any monthly consolidation. So the second we lose the low of the previous monthly candle on Meta, we could easily pull back, in my opinion, 15 to 20 to maybe even 30%. So yeah, this isn't looking good at all. Like, we're due for a massive correction. We went from monthly oversold to potentially monthly overbought in less than a year. That is massive. Look at that V-shaped recovery. And we have no support all the way down to $88. So it's not looking good whatsoever here. And then look at this. We were monthly overbought. We even had bearish RSI divergence as well, just like Tesla, just like Apple's forming with higher lows and higher highs, and then lower highs, lower lows, and then went to monthly oversold. I think SPY is going to do something similar into the next year, into spring next year. Sell in May and go away 2024. But yeah. From the high there on Facebook, we dropped 77%. Same as Netflix. Tesla dropped, what did Tesla drop? I think it was around 80% as well from its top, right? And we had the EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on the EMAs. We had that hidden bearish RSI divergence. We had the head and shoulders with a target of about 85. And then we had the fib level there at 98 cents, or $98, sorry. And we had the death cross as well on Tesla with the 50-day crossing down through the 200-day moving average. So we had all these indicators, right? If 7 out of 8 or 8 indicators out of 10 that are very, very useful say we're going down, well, wouldn't you much rather know that technicals are saying that versus 8 out of 10 indicators saying we're going up from here, right? And right now, Tesla did a similar thing, right? Where we went from the all-time high to down. Okay, it was around 75%, so basically the same. So if we take a look at Apple, and Facebook did it, Netflix did it, Tesla did it. I think even Amazon went down quite a bit from its all-time high. Yeah, so from the all-time high on Amazon there, it went down 56%. So if Apple does, we'll use that as an like the medium line of that, right? So we were down 32%. So if the most is down 70 to 80%, and then 50% was what Amazon's, well, we'll say around 60% is what we could expect here from the all-time high. That would bring Apple down, and monthly oversold, that'd bring Apple down to around $80. So that means we could see some pain, right? And monthly oversold. So yeah, I'm not liking the look at chart of Apple whatsoever. But hopefully that helps. Just checking in on the community here as well. I'm going to do a video on Tilray after hours here today. Probably start that here in a moment. But yeah, we're starting to bounce here on crypto, but no major, major strength standing out here. And like I said, I am leaning bearish here on Apple. Litecoin halving also completed. Another bullish catalyst leading into alt season, in my opinion. And like I said, that spot Bitcoin ETF into the fall, I think, has the most likelihood of passing. And then for MJ, I think HHS review. And then we'll see Congress back in full force here in about 5 weeks. And then we could see the rhetoric ramp up into safe banking. We could even get rescheduling or descheduling and safe banking all at the same time. So this could be interesting. I don't think they're going to deschedule it. I think they'll reschedule it to schedule 3, and then they'll work their way up. Just like Apple doesn't release the best iPhone ever, they'll do a little bit each time, and then they'll use that to create more profit, more revenue. And just like in the stock market, they're not going to like unleash everything all at once. They'll do it in increments where they can buy the top, where they can buy the bottom, sell the top, and then use retail as exit liquidity, right? So I think that's the most likely scenario. But I want to end it there. Hope you have a great night. And like I said, I'll be doing a video on Tilray here soon. And like I said, we'll resume these live streams more frequently into September. I've got some major news as well that I want to share with all of you, some personal news. Not prepared to share that yet, but yeah, some big changes coming soon to my life, and I'll keep everybody posted. But we'll end it with that cliffhanger. All right, have a great one. We'll see everybody in the chat room in a few minutes, and we'll see you a little bit later on for a Tilray video. Talk to you soon.